Well, good morning, guys. Today we're in the shop. We're going to try to replicate a bottom bouncer. This is a Cabela's brand. They're wanting $3.99 for it, and it's just a simple wire, some lead, and a swivel. So we're going to try to replicate that for a few pennies. Let's see what goes on. So first thing we're going to need to do is get some wire. And luckily my brother-in-law's been running cows in my property here in the back 40. And over the years we've had to use electric fence wire. And so I'm just going to simply cut a piece. And we'll get enough to make a few. So that's pretty much free to me right there. Okay, so now I'm just going to measure this real quick roughly. Looks like about 11 inches on the long, 5 inches on the short, so 16. And just for giggles, we're going to throw maybe another inch. I'm going to go 18 inches. So I'm just pulling my drawer out here. 18 inches. And then I'll just take my electrician's dikes here, my cutoff pliers, and run that up to the desk. Boom, one. Like Dad says, we're not building a piano. Good enough for who it's for, right? 2. 3. And we'll just do 3 for now. So I built a few last night. I ran into some problems on a couple of them. A couple of them I noticed the wire was black. Well, that's because when we're burning weeds in the summer, we burn them with a fire. They lost their spring. When I went to fold them together, they kind of just folded and stayed, where the other ones that weren't black kept their shape better. So that's why I'm coming out here today to make a couple extras, and we'll show you how that process goes. Okay, so you guys have watched my channel. You've seen this already, the egg sinker mold from Do It. It's got various sizes in it, and it's got a wire that runs right through the middle of the weights. So what I'm simply going to do, got the lead heating up in the pot right now, and all I'm going to do is kind of hold that where I'm wanting that to be. Just pinch my fingers on it. And what I'm going to do, I've got these little pliers here. They're just rounded pliers. You don't need these. You can just use regular needle nose. But I'm just going to wrap that around just like so, and I'm going to wrap it around there just like so. So just kind of make a little upside down bow there, and that's just going to go right where you want that particular sinker, that whatever weight you decide you want. So these ones I'm going to go with the 1 ounce mold, which is this one right here, and that's the one I had troubles with as far as the wire being too soft. So all I'm going to do is set that in there. This is a little bit tricky. Just make sure your loop's right in that hole. Close your gate here. You might have to slide this back and forth just to get things to seat in there right. Work it back a little bit. There it goes. It locked into place. So it's all locked into place. Now I can slide this back and forth, and I can feel that pushing on the form of the mold. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to push it all the way one way, all the way the other, and then go back and split it half the distance. So that makes my loop right in the center of the pour, so you won't have any wire exposed. Okay, while we're waiting for that lead to heat up, I'll go ahead and get these others looped up where I want them. Just like so. Right in the center of that. Just like so. Okay, so we're gonna need a swivel. So I just grab these out of a tackle box, various sizes, and I'm just gonna throw one of them bad boys on. We'll grab one of those. I got one there, and I've already got 2 swivels from the ones that were bad. So that is pretty much, besides a little bit of lead, which I get for 50 cents a pound, that's pretty much all we've got into this. So I'd say we're looking at 20 cents if we're lucky, 25 cents to make one of these. Compared to $3.99, I'll take it. You can buy them from different outfits for under $1 a piece, but I figured, something so simple, let's just make our own. And if I find out that these little egg sinkers hang up more than this will, I'll change plans. But in a perfect world, that shouldn't even hit bottom very much. It should just kind of ride on the wire. So we'll see how it works. And like I said, if I need to make a new mold similar to this one, easily done with a drill bit in a piece of wood even. So, or I could use some bullet weights as well that I pour. But it shouldn't be a big deal. These are those bullet weights right here. They're kind of a triangular, same principle. They've got a hole right through them. A guy could use a couple of those on both ends too. But I think the bell, or I think the egg sinkers were going to work just fine. We'll take them out the next day or so and give them a whirl. Okay, so while we're at it, I'm going to lay this next to that. We know the ball's going to go there. Right here we've got a little bend. So all I'm going to do is grab this wire right in that area, and we're going to bend that. Go wrap it around, then I'm going to take my pliers out, reach over here, and keep wrapping till I get about a 90-degree angle there. There is that bend. If there's a little separation, which there's really not on this one, you can take your electrician's dikes and just squeeze that together. Keep things tight. So there's that bend. In the same line of thinking, we need a swivel down here. Take my gloves off. Let's grab this swivel. And I'm gonna pretty much got a hole down there. So I'm gonna grab that, throw my swivel on. Actually, I'll bend it first. Just bend it around one time. Not quite touching. Now I'm gonna take my pliers off, throw my swivel on. Now check this out. I got a little bit of a tag wire that makes it easy to work with right there. And so from there, I'm just going to simply take some little channel locks, grab that loop. Try not to get your swivel in the meantime. Grab the loop on the shaft right there. And I'm going to take this extra wire here and just try to tightly, holding my pliers nice and firm, just go loop it around twice. Just like so. And now we'll just cut off the excess. And that is how we do it. So now we've got our swivel, our 90, and our loop. We'll do that on the other ones. Be ready when the lead is. Okay, so here's the reject one from the other day, one of them. So I'm just going to take that wire and dip it in the top of this pot. Let that melt right off. That lead's still taking its sweet time, but now we got no more lead there. A couple of more rejects right here. No waste except for that wire, but that wire was trash to begin with. Let that sit there for a second. Coming off, coming off, coming off. And there we go. So just bend that and dip it in. And all we got's wire left. So, make a few mistakes, no big deal. Now let's get to pouring. Okay, so I've got this wire in the mold. I've decided to pour some 3/4 ounce just to mix it up. So once again, I'll slide that back and forth a couple times and split the difference. Drop it right under there and just fill her up. Okay, simple as that. Pull it off. Now we're left with a little weight there. And I'll take my sprue, side cutter pliers here, right back in the bowl, ready to roll. Simple as that. Pops right out. We'll take our side cut pliers, pop it back in the tank, ready for paint. So sometimes you get a little rough edge there. I've got a piece of sandpaper stuck to this right here. And all you just do, still warm, but you just drag that on. Just drag that egg right on the back of that and it takes that right off. So I might be crazy, but I'm gonna go ahead and pour some 3 ounces right here on these last two. Big Daddy. Good enough for who it's for, guys. That should ride right on the bottom. Carrying my walleye spinners. No problemo. We'll go test them out in a day or two. Okay, so split the difference. Booyah! And you know, there's not a ton of cost savings here, but by the time I make a batch of those, 2 per size, you're talking 30 bucks. Well, that'll keep my girlish figure up at McDonald's and maybe buy me a little bit of gas to throw in the boat. So I think it's definitely worth it. And something satisfying about doing something yourself. Giving the Chinese kids a break. So now I'm going to just take this swivel, open it up, put it down on the wire there, and that's an easy way to store it on the boat. So there we have it, guys. I want to thank you for coming along today. Pretty simple project, but to me it was a satisfying build. I've got in my possession now 2 of every size, from 3/4 of an ounce up to 3 ounces. And that should take care of a lot of the situations on a lot of different water. So thanks for coming along again, and we will catch you on the next one. Till then, tight lines.